Let me ask you something simple. When was the last time you walked through a forest and actually felt your breath change? Felt your muscles release tension you didn't even know you were carrying? That's not just peace. That's biology. That's the nervous system responding to something ancient, something it remembers. You see, nature isn't just a place to relax. It's where we were designed to exist. The human body, the brain, every sensory system you have, evolved under open skies, surrounded by trees, rivers, sunlight, wind. That's your original environment. And when you step back into it, something powerful happens inside you. Something resets. There's this misconception today that nature is a luxury, that it's something you fit in on the weekends, maybe during a vacation if you're lucky. But the truth is, nature is a necessity. It's not optional, it's foundational. Your nervous system was built to track the wind in the trees, the way light moves across the horizon, the sound of running water. Your eyes were designed to scan long distances, not to stare into a glowing screen 12 inches from your face. And your body was built to move over uneven terrain, not be locked into a chair for 8 hours a day. You are not separate from nature, you are nature, and when you deprive yourself of that, when you cut yourself off from sunlight, from fresh air, from the rhythm of natural sound, there is a cost. A deep one. Your stress levels rise, your immune system weakens, your mood starts to slide, focus gets scattered. Sleep becomes shallow, you start to lose access to the full intelligence of your own biology. But the moment you reconnect, even in small doses, the moment you step into a natural environment, even a park, even a garden, your system begins recalibrating. Not because you're trying to relax, but because nature activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the part responsible for rest, digestion, recovery. And it doesn't take hours. In fact, research shows that even 10 minutes in nature can begin lowering cortisol levels. 10 minutes, that's less time than you spend checking social media. You want to feel more calm, more clear, more capable. Get into nature. Let your senses do what they were designed to do. Because here's the truth. Our brain circuits for attention and mood are tied directly to what we see, what we hear, what we feel in the environment around us. Natural landscapes trigger something called soft fascination, a kind of gentle engagement that allows the mind to rest while still remaining aware. It's not zoning out, it's tuning in. And when you allow yourself to experience that, when your system gets that kind of reset, it doesn't just improve your mood, it enhances your ability to solve problems, to relate to others, to think creatively. It's a complete upgrade to the human operating system. There's a reason people feel more alive after time in nature. It's not just psychological, it's physiological. Trees release chemicals called phytoncides. These compounds boost immune cell activity. Sunlight triggers the production of serotonin, a neurotransmitter critical for mood. The feeling of grass under your feet, soil in your hands, the wind on your skin, it's all sending information to your nervous system that says, you're safe, you're supported, you're in the right place. And when your system hears that, your body begins to heal. I want you to think about that the next time you feel overwhelmed, anxious, foggy, or disconnected. Don't just reach for a screen, step outside, look at the sky, let your feet hit the ground, let your breath match the rhythm of the trees swaying in the wind. Because you are not designed for confinement. You are not built for concrete boxes, artificial light, and endless noise. You are designed for forests, for oceans, for open space, for quiet. That's where your potential begins to come back online. And this isn't about abandoning modern life. It's about reclaiming the part of it we've forgotten. It's about integrating nature back into your daily rhythm, not just for peace, but for power. That's the shift. This isn't soft. This is strength. Nature gives you resilience. It gives you clarity. It gives you endurance. And it gives you back the connection that this modern world has been slowly stripping away. So don't wait for the weekend. Don't wait for the perfect hike. Start now. Step outside. Breathe in. Look up, because when you return to nature, you're not escaping life. You're finally stepping into it. Let's talk about something we take for granted every single day. Light, not just any light, I'm talking about natural light. The kind that comes from the sun, that hits your skin and your eyes the moment you step outside. That light is not just there to help you see. It's the single most powerful environmental force shaping your biology. Every cell in your body is tracking it. Every organ is tuned to it. Your brain is deeply wired to respond to natural light. And when you get that light at the right time, in the right way, your energy shifts, your mood lifts, and your mind gets sharper, fast. We live in a world that has disconnected us from that light. We wake up to alarms in dark rooms. We stumble toward coffee before we've seen the sun. Then we spend the day indoors, surrounded by artificial lighting, only to stare at screens that confuse the very system that's trying to keep us in rhythm. And at night, we blast ourselves with more screen light, wondering why we feel wired and tired at the same time. It's not a mystery, it's biology out of sync. Your body runs on something called a circadian rhythm. Think of it as your internal clock. It controls when you feel awake, when you feel tired, when your hormones rise, when your metabolism speeds up or slows down. And that clock doesn't just keep ticking on its own, it needs a cue, a signal from the outside world that tells it what time it is. That cue is sunlight, specifically morning sunlight. When you wake up and get sunlight in your eyes within the first hour or two of being awake, you're not just starting your day. You're giving your brain the master signal it needs to set every system in your body on track. Cortisol rises appropriately, giving you energy, drive, and focus. Melatonin, the sleep hormone, gets suppressed so you're alert, and that same sunlight starts the timer for melatonin to return later that night, helping you fall asleep naturally and deeply. Without that signal, your brain doesn't know where it is in time. It's like a symphony with no conductor. Hormones fire at the wrong times, your sleep gets disrupted, your focus drifts, you get cravings at odd hours. Mood swings become more common, and you feel like you're dragging through the day, never fully energized. That's not weakness. That's a system that's been cut off from its anchor, and the fix, it's simple. It's free, and it's available every single day. Go outside in the morning, just for 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes. No sunglasses, no window glass between you and the sun, but real power lies in the ability to stand firm on your own, indirectly, safely, and feel what starts to happen. You'll notice a change. Over a few days, maybe even hours, you'll feel more alert earlier in the day. Your sleep will improve. Your thinking will feel more clear, more fluid. That's your biology responding to the light it was always meant to receive. But this isn't just about waking up. Midday light matters too. The full spectrum of sunlight is rich with wavelengths that boost serotonin levels, a neurotransmitter tied to mood and well-being. And when you get sunlight exposure throughout the day, you don't just improve energy, you improve emotional regulation. That means you don't just react, you respond. You become less impulsive, more present, more able to face challenges with a grounded, clear mind. Now I get it. Not everyone has time to hike a mountain or sit by the ocean in the morning, but this doesn't need to be complicated. Step outside your front door. Sit by a window with sunlight pouring in. Take your phone calls while walking under the sky instead of under a roof. Build these micro habits into your day, because the reality is, every moment you spend in natural light is a moment your biology is realigning. It's subtle at first, but it's powerful, it stacks up, and over weeks and months, it changes your baseline. And let's talk about energy for a second. Everyone's looking for that extra boost, more coffee, energy drinks, supplements. But the most powerful stimulant you can get is free and built into nature. Sunlight increases dopamine levels. Dopamine is what gives you motivation. It drives your ambition, your mood, your sense of purpose. When you lack it, you feel flat, disconnected. But when you wake up and give your body and brain what they're designed to receive sunlight at the right time, you activate that drive naturally. No crash, no addiction, just natural fuel for your brain and body. If you want better sleep, more focus, improved mood, and deeper resilience, don't start with the hardest hacks. Start with the easiest one. Step into the light. Let the sun set your rhythm. Let your biology remember the natural timing it was designed to follow. Because when you align yourself with the light of the world, you stop running against the clock and start flowing with it. We live in a world addicted to noise. There's noise in our pockets, in our homes, in our minds. Constant alerts, constant movement, constant stimulation. Even when we're alone, it's never truly quiet because we've trained ourselves to reach for something. Scroll, watch, listen, check, reply. And in doing that, we've lost touch with something vital, stillness, silence, the kind that exists naturally in the world when you step away from all the chaos. The kind that isn't empty, but full of life, and that stillness has a power most people have forgotten. When you walk into a forest and the sounds of traffic and technology fall away, there's this moment where your body begins to listen again. Not just with your ears, but with your entire system. You start to notice the wind moving through the trees, the distant call of a bird, the faint buzz of insects. And suddenly, you're not just hearing nature, you're in it, you're part of it. That stillness does something profound to your brain. It begins to soften your stress response. It lowers your heart rate, calms your breath, and shifts your nervous system out of fight or flight and into rest and recovery. That's not just peace, that's repair, that's healing. We spend so much of our time operating from a place of tension. Whether it's the deadlines, the pressure, the endless stream of information we're always anticipating, always responding. And that kind of chronic mental stimulation keeps your body on alert. You may not realize it, but your muscles stay partially activated, your cortisol stays elevated, and your attention gets fragmented. You start forgetting things, reacting emotionally, sleeping poorly. You lose the space between your thoughts. And in that space is where clarity lives, creativity lives, perspective lives. But to get there, you have to slow down enough to actually notice what's happening inside you. And nature gives you that invitation. The stillness found in natural environments is not boring. It's intelligent. It's dynamic. It's a container for reflection. When you walk alone in a quiet place, no phone, no podcast, just you and the land, you begin to hear the voice beneath all the noise. And sometimes that voice has been waiting a long time to speak. It says things you didn't know you needed to hear. It tells the truth. It reminds you of who you were before the world told you who you needed to be. That's not just grounding. That's remembering, that's returning, and the beautiful thing is, you don't need hours to get there. You don't need a week in the mountains or a month in the desert. You need intention. 10 minutes of intentional stillness in nature can change the entire trajectory of your day. It brings coherence to your thoughts, space between your emotions, and a kind of calm strength that carries over into every interaction, every decision. You become less reactive, more patient, more present. Silence is one of the most powerful tools for nervous system regulation we have. But in our modern world, it's one of the most underused. We've filled every corner of our lives with stimulation. We wear headphones in the gym, watch videos while eating, fill our homes with background noise just to avoid the discomfort of quiet. But what if that discomfort is actually a doorway? What if the silence we avoid is the exact thing we need? Nature teaches us that not everything needs to be forced, that growth can happen in the stillness. A tree doesn't rush to grow. The ocean doesn't apologize for its rhythm. The sun rises and sets on its own time, and in those rhythms we're reminded that our worth is not tied to our productivity, that we are allowed to rest. That rest is not weakness. It's preparation. It's a return to balance. And when we rest in the stillness of nature, we're not escaping life. We're reconnecting with the part of ourselves that life has buried under stress, distraction, and speed. Stillness is where your nervous system heals. It's where your brain integrates the experiences you've been pushing through. It's where your emotions surface and get processed instead of stored. You don't need to figure everything out. Sometimes you just need to stop, breathe, and listen to the wind, to your body, to your own inner guidance. And the quiet of nature gives you that space without asking anything from you in return. In the stillness, you don't lose momentum, you gain alignment. You don't slow down to get behind, you slow down to move with more precision, more focus, more presence. That's the kind of energy that builds powerful lives, not scattered, distracted effort, focused, grounded action born from deep internal clarity. So give yourself the permission to unplug, step outside, sit by a tree, walk without a destination. Let your breath match the rhythm of the world around you. Let go of the pressure to do, and learn to just be. Because in the stillness, you don't disappear, you reappear. You hear a lot these days about boosting your immune system. People chase supplements, cold plunges, expensive routines, all trying to build resilience. But one of the most powerful immune-boosting tools doesn't come in a bottle. It comes from the trees, from the soil, from the air you breathe when you step into a forest. Nature is not just beautiful, it's medicinal. And what it does to your immune system is something science is only beginning to fully understand, but your body already knows it. You can feel it the moment you take that first deep breath under the canopy of trees. Something shifts. Something inside you softens, but deeper than that, something activates. When you walk through a natural environment, especially places rich with trees like a forest, you're inhaling more than just fresh air. You're breathing in compounds called phytoncides. These are natural substances released by plants and trees, especially evergreens, to protect themselves against insects and disease. But when you inhale them, your body doesn't just register a pleasant smell. It responds on a cellular level. Your immune system wakes up. Natural killer cells, those frontline immune warriors that seek out and destroy infected or cancerous cells, become more active. Not slightly, significantly, and this isn't theory, it's been measured. After just a couple hours in a forest, people show increased numbers and activity in their natural killer cells. And those effects don't fade the moment you leave, they last for days. Your body carries that immunity forward long after you've gone back to your regular life. That's how deeply the environment you place yourself in can affect your physiology. It's not abstract. It's not motivational fluff. It's measurable biology. Now think about that for a second. Think about what it means that something as simple as walking in nature, breathing forest air, can actually shift your internal defenses in real time. That's power, and we've been walking away from it. We've built lives indoors, sealed behind walls and windows, breathing filtered air, surrounded by synthetic surfaces, chasing cleanliness while missing the very connection that keeps our system strong. And the body knows, the body remembers. Our ancestors weren't just surviving in nature, they were thriving with it. Their immune systems were calibrated to the signals of the natural world. The smell of pine, the coolness of river water, the warmth of the sun. All those signals told the body it was where it belonged, and the body responded with vitality. Fast forward to today, and we're seeing an epidemic of immune-related issues, chronic inflammation, autoimmune conditions, burnout, fatigue. It's not a coincidence, it's disconnection. The body wasn't designed to live in fluorescent boxes and breathe recycled air for 90% of its existence. Nature is not a detox, it is the default, it's the original setting, and when you return to it, even in small doses, your system begins to repair. Inflammation goes down, heart rate variability improves, blood pressure drops. Even your microbiome, the gut bacteria that influence everything from digestion to mood, gets healthier through exposure to natural environments. The microbes in soil, on plants, in the air, they interact with your skin, your lungs, and your immune system in ways we are only just beginning to map. But the effects are real, and they are profound. You don't need to move to a cabin in the woods to get this benefit. You just need to be intentional, go where there are trees, touch the earth, spend time with the living world instead of just driving past it. Walk barefoot in grass, put your hands in the soil, breathe deeply in green spaces. These moments aren't breaks from real life. They're what real life was supposed to include. They are part of your biological toolkit. And the more regularly you use them, the more resilient you become, not just mentally, but physically. And it's not just about fighting illness, it's about building energy. When your immune system is strong, your energy is high. You recover faster, you sleep deeper, you handle stress more gracefully, your body stops constantly playing defense and starts building strength. That's what time in nature does. It recalibrates your system to work with the world instead of always fighting against it. There's a kind of wisdom in nature that doesn't shout. It whispers. And if you listen, if you slow down enough to breathe it in, you'll realize you've been carrying around the blueprint for health inside you all along. You've just been separated from the conditions that activate it. Reconnect with those conditions and everything begins to shift. Not just your immune system, but your clarity, your purpose, your drive. So don't underestimate what a walk in the woods can do. It's not a break, it's a return to strength.